Hello everyone, in this video we're going to be going through the syllabus for Business 121. So this is Business 121 for the spring semester of 2021. The course is going to be for 3 credit hours. I'm the Professor Brent Mason. I've listed my phone number here as well as my email. Preferred method of contact is usually through email. I'm usually a little bit quicker to reply through email, but if emergency did arise or something like that, you'd be more than welcome to either contact me through a phone call or a text message. Either one of those works. So for a course description, this course is designed to introduce students to various functions of business administration, its operations within free enterprise economic system. The introduction of business assists students in developing analytical abilities and orienting them with various business and organizational practices and operations, and introduce students to topics of business components and organizational operations. So overall, it's just a very basic intro to business course. We're going to be covering a lot of different topics throughout the semester, in all different facets of business. And if you do continue on with your business education, whether it be with other business courses or with a business degree, you can go into different concentrations within, kind of the topics that we discuss in this course, whether it be, marketing or human resources, finance, just a few kind of off the top of my head. But yeah, this will hopefully kind of engage you into more, business type of thinking and everything. And the other thing about this course is I think you'll see it's very relatable just because this business is kind of all around us. The delivery on this course is going to be strictly online. We will not meet in person for any reason, and you do not have to go to campus for any of the quizzes or tests or anything along those lines. The required textbook for this course is going to be the Understanding Business 12th edition by Nichols, McHugh, and McHugh. It is a McGraw-Hill book. The 12th edition I think we've been using for the past 2 years, I think it is. It's not overly expensive at this point, I think, just because it is maybe the later edition that's out, but it can be purchased from the LLC bookstore, or if you want to purchase through Amazon or anything else that might be out there, you're more than welcome to do so. For computer resources for this class, computer for online personal use, you may use computers and software on the Lincoln Land campus if you would like. If you do not have one readily available to you at your home, including the Logan Hall Learning Lab. Given the COVID situation, I'm going to assume that most of you probably have your own personal computer, and that would probably be the most recommended, just because campus is kind of up in the air as to week to week to possibly having exposure to the virus and everything right now. But if you do not have access to a personal computer, highly recommend just kind of keeping on top of the campus schedule every week with COVID updates. You will need access to speakers or headphones for the computer. Perfect example is this video. We will have quite a few videos throughout the semester to where you will need those headphones for those to listen in on. You'll also need Microsoft Office or Google Docs. It doesn't really matter each way whether you have one or the other. Microsoft Office usually does require some sort of purchase. I'm a big advocate for Google Docs just because it is free. All you need is a Google account. Whereas Microsoft Office, even as you being students, you can get it at a discount. And I forget what that cost is off the top of my head, but there is still a price associated with it. If you do have a computer that already has Microsoft Office downloaded to it or something like that, you might already have it. But if you do not have it, obviously you can go ahead and purchase it. And then the other thing here will be McGraw-Hill Connect. So whenever you buy the book, you will also need a McGraw-Hill Connect access code. Whether you do a strictly online book or whether you do a hard copy of it, that's completely up to you on kind of what you feel most comfortable with. But just know you will need Connect, just because you will need to be able to access the quizzes out there as well as some of the other information that McGraw-Hill Connect has to offer. Now, I think it's a great learning tool. Besides that, just because they do have different things for their courses that they offer, whether it be flashcards or quizzes that you can take that don't count for a score and different things like that. So I'm a big fan of the McGraw-Hill Connect. So this course will be done through Blackboard. Please make it a habit of checking Blackboard and Webmail at least once a day for course updates. I usually send out a course update about once a week, usually on Monday or Tuesday towards the beginning part of the week. So just be kind of on the lookout for that. I'll send in an announcement which will go to Blackboard as well as your email. But it's always good to kind of log into Blackboard kind of once a day just to make sure, not only for this course but for other courses as well, just to see if there's any sort of updates on it, especially as I mentioned before with COVID, being such a huge part of our life right now. Things can change so quickly, so especially if you have a course that is going to be on campus, I would definitely recommend kind of logging into Webmail and Blackboard just to make sure that there's no updates on whether it's moved to strictly online or if it's back on campus, that sort of thing. Logger Central, use that to enroll or drop any classes. Please be mindful of any sort of refund dates that you have. If you do have any questions about that, please contact your advisor. And then I also have a link to Logger Central here as well. Pretty much anything that you could ever need from Lincoln Land is pretty much out there on Logger Central. So if you haven't checked it out, I highly recommend doing that and kind of familiarizing yourself with that site. Some student learning outcomes for the course. So upon completion of this course, you'll be able to write a business plan, relate the importance of the business plan to management of an organization, identify the theory underlying a business scenario, resolve resolve problems presented in a business scenario utilizing the applicable theory, and then compare and contrast the different careers in business. Just some general education outcomes. Be utilizing critical thinking. You'll be diving into cultural and global awareness. Students will develop a set of skills to support effective and appropriate interaction in a variety of cultural contexts, and then also communication. So these main kind of general education outcomes are going to be very relatable to any course that you have here at Lincoln Land. Topical outline. This is just a kind of overview of all the chapters that we're going to be covering this semester. So as you'll see here, I mean, we've got entrepreneurship, we've got management, human resources, marketing, just all sorts of different topics. As we get towards the end part of the semester, we'll be dealing with more like financial management, securities and markets, money and financial institutions, Federal Reserve, those different things. So if there's something that does kind of pop out that is a strong interest of you and we haven't got to it yet or anything like that, and you do have questions about it, feel free to reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to talk to you about that topic. For the grading of this course, pretty straightforward. We do have A, B, C, D, and F, and then 90 to 100% is going to be your A, 80 to 89% B, 70 to 79% C, 60 to 69% D, and then F is going to be 59% or less. Usually if you're at, say, like a 89.5 or 6 or something like that, I typically will round up and give you the benefit of the doubt. I try to be as fair as possible in those situations, but do please be mindful of that as we especially get towards the end of the semester and final grades do start coming more of a factor. For methods of evaluation for the course, we're going to be reading using Understanding Business by Nichols, McHugh, and McHugh. We do have quizzes for each chapter. Discussions, I think we have, 7 discussion posts for the course, and then we have a final project towards the end of the course, which you can check out the final project tab, and it has all the information out there for the final project. And then we do have a midterm and a final exam. So when you break it down, we have 20 quizzes at 30 points each. That equates to 600 points or 27% of your grade. So almost a third of your grade is going towards quizzes. The quizzes, you can take those 3 times each, and it will take the highest score out of the 3. So I highly recommend taking all the quizzes, and if you don't get the highest score possible the first time, I would probably recommend doing it just because there are so many points out there for the quizzes, and it's a very easy way to help solidify you getting a good grade in this course. So generally, those who get a good grade in this course complete all the assignments and do fairly well on them. If you're not going to get a good grade in the course, as I've seen in the past, it's usually by individuals who do not end up completing all their quizzes. Discussion board posts, that's another way to get some pretty easy points in this course. We do have 700 points devoted towards the discussion points, and that is over a third of your grade. So, I mean, right off the bat, between quizzes and discussion posts, I mean, you're almost looking at 2/3 of your grade right there. So very easy to kind of build up those points, and then that way, if you don't do as well on the midterm or the final exam, you can still kind of fall back on those quizzes and discussion posts. So between the final exam, the final project, and then the midterm exam, each one of those are 300 points each, or 14% of your grade. So all in all, it comes out to about 2,200 points for the course. So if you ever do, kind of want to calculate your, grade throughout the semester, you can always go out to the grade book and see how many points available, how many points you have, and then, just divide those. So consult the syllabus for general timelines for the course. Blackboard assignments are where you will find your precise activities for each week's assignments. Also, please note the timelines posted for Blackboard and are adhered to. Late work is not accepted. Generally, for I think every week, the course will start at midnight on Monday, and it'll go all the way until Sundays at 11:59. So think of that as your kind of work week to complete everything that you need to get done. And then if it is turned in past that Sunday at 11:59, that will be considered late. So just be mindful. My biggest recommendation for an online course is to just set aside some time each week, preferably on the kind of around the same time and the same day. I found that to be probably the easiest thing, and to where you can get your coursework done. We're not meeting in course, so you do have a lot of time to get this done. But I know kind of life gets in the way of online courses, so I found it to be best to just get some sort of schedule to where you're just completing the coursework, same time, same day each week, getting it done, and then you've got it done for the week, and you don't have to worry about it as we get closer to that Sunday deadline. One thing to note here is we will be using a lot of quizzes and tests for this course. So if you do run into a situation to where you think you possibly might not have gotten the right answer for it, feel free to reach out to me and please provide the exact question, cut and paste it into a message, and the test name and the chapter it was from, as well as the page number and the textbook that supports your answer, and email that over to me. Then I will take a look at it and see if if it is in fact incorrect on the system and it does need to be corrected. Generally through McGraw-Hill, I haven't found that to be too big of an issue. It's usually through the Blackboard administered tests and quizzes, but every once in a while I have run into this issue. So yeah, if you do feel like something is up, don't hesitate to reach out to me. For makeup policy, late work will not be accepted, but exceptions are made for makeup work if the student has made previous arrangements with the professor. I do know, especially right now with COVID, I've had some students, especially last semester, who weren't feeling well, ended up emailing me saying, hey, I don't think I'm going to be able to get my assignments done just because I'm under the weather and everything, and I was able to grant them extensions. So yeah, if you're not going to be feeling well or unable to meet the deadline on time, please email me as soon as possible so I can make those arrangements with you. I'm very flexible, especially right now with everything going on. In same way, if you're a student athlete who has, game coming up or something along those lines, just email me, as soon as possible on it. So one of the things as an LLCC student, it's important to familiarize yourself with the LLCC students' rights and responsibilities. Just make sure that you're going out there and understanding that. The one thing I do want to highlight on this is plagiarism. Plagiarism is a very big deal, not only at Lincoln Land, but any institution, to where I would highly recommend familiarizing yourself on what exactly plagiarism is, and just flat out don't do it, because it can lead to whether it be failed attempts at assignments if you are found plagiarizing, and even in some cases it can lead to expulsion. So that is something, as I said, Lincoln Land does take very serious, as well as other institutions out there. For accommodations, if you are a student that has a disability under the American with Disabilities Acts, please reach out to Kim Eddings about that. She will coordinate with me on kind of what needs to be done to assist with the student and everything. And I'm always more than accommodating in those situations. So it's something to definitely reach out to Kim about. Religious observance. If you must miss class due to religious observance, you must notify me at least 10 college business days in advance in order to receive reasonable accommodations. Kind of the same way with, just letting me know as soon as possible on that. If you do know you're unable to meet some sort of deadline on it or something like that, just let me know, keep me in the loop, and then we can go ahead and make those accommodations for you. For campus safety, especially right now with everything going on, I highly recommend using the LLCC alert system, especially as we kind of get into the months of January and February, where weather is a big issue a lot of the time. If you are going to campus, they'll send out a notification. If campus is closed, whether you're going to like the Beardstown campus or the Litchfield campus or even the main campus here in Springfield. I definitely recommend signing up for that alert. You'll get a phone call, a text, or an email, and it just kind of keeps you in the loop on anything that might be happening. The other thing here is I do have a link to the LLCC Police Department. If you do have any sort of issues, check out the police department. You can check out their page, or make sure that you call them directly. And then down here towards the bottom, we do have a schedule for the semester. So as you'll notice here in the first week, we've got introductions and coursework. Second week, we've got chapter 1. Third week, chapter 2 and 3. So as we kind of get through, I would say between the third and fourth week, you'll probably start to see some sort of, rhythm to it, and kind of get into a good situation to where you're understanding what needs to be done each week, and then from there on out, you shouldn't have any sort of issues not knowing what was going to be due week in, week out. So I would highly recommend printing this out, and then that way you do have it. Typically I do not make changes to the schedule throughout the semester, so this is usually pretty set in stone, but if I do have to make changes, I will send out an announcement about that. So just kind of keep in mind some dates, such as the midterm. When we have that, we do have spring break here in the middle of the semester. And then towards the end of the semester, just be mindful of when the final project is due, as well as the final exam. So that's pretty much everything I've got to cover for the syllabus. If you do have questions about me, feel free to reach out to me. If not, then I hope you have a great semester, and I look forward to working with you.